What's up, YouTube? It's Josh coming at you with my August 2021 pickups. Stay tuned. So welcome back, y'all. Another month in the books. Flew by again already before we knew it. I got a pretty good stack of games to show you guys here, and I got a great local brew from a brewery that's actually really close to me. This one's probably only like 20 minutes away. Been there a few times. Bought this one a few weeks back. It really fit well with our theme of our channel, so I wanted to share it with you guys. This is a drink to the past. This is a Marshmallow cereal sour from Brewery Fire. That's the brewery's name. They're out of Taneytown, Maryland. This is a 6.7% alcohol by volume sour. It's got a very good sweet kind of smell to it. Let's see what it tastes like. I'm not a huge sour guy. Like I said, I love my bitter IPAs, so the sours are usually a little bit different for me. It's not bad. Kind of a fruity, really does have a fruity, like cereal marshmallow kind of flavor. If you like sours and you're in this area, check out Brewery Fire. Hopefully they'll still have some of these drink to the past. It's an awesome looking can, isn't it, with the little link on there. So I'll start from oldest systems to oldest generations to newer ones from what I got from the thrift shop. So I got a couple of Game Boy games I actually found at one of the thrifts. A couple dollars a piece. I got Tetris DX and Tetris Attack. Now Tetris DX, they're both for the Game Boy Color. This one is more along the lines of just like a normal Tetris game, whereas Tetris Attack, it's a lot different. It's not really like Tetris at all. You basically have to line up, you have to move blocks around to line the colors up for this, and once you move them, they disappear and you get points for it, and the blocks kind of move upward so they fill up your screen. So it's similar in that regard, but they don't. But it doesn't lay out the same as all the Tetris shapes do and all the other ones. Pretty cool to pick those up for a couple dollars though. PlayStation 1, it seemed to be at the beginning of the month. Now for the last like 3 months, I had really not a whole lot of luck compared to the way I was going when it came to the thrift shop pickups. It seemed like I pick a game or two up maybe every couple times I would go. Basically wasn't getting the hits like I was before, where I was buying like a ton of games at one time and just finding great games all at once. But a couple days earlier in this month, it seemed like it was PlayStation month for a little while, because all these came from, I think, like 3 pickups at the very beginning of the month. None of them are like huge games. I didn't come across any Sudoku or anything like that, but all stuff to add to my collection. They're all complete in the box. All the discs look pretty good. I got a 2 Extreme, which is a bunch of extreme like snowboarding, biking, all that stuff. Greatest hits. Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. MTV Pure Ride. Got a really clean copy because nobody probably ever plays these, of Wheel of Fortune for the PlayStation Greatest Hits. I got Need for Speed V-Rally 2. This one right here I actually found the disc only. It completed, I had this case sitting here for Asteroids. I think someone just gave me the case a while back. So it was pretty cool to find that to complete it. This one was surprising to find this one, a nice complete copy with the manual, both discs in it. Great shape, the jewel case in great shape. It's Command & Conquer Red Alert Retaliation. It's a real-time strategy game. If you guys are into that kind of thing, you might want to check it out. I like some of them. It just depends. I don't know how much play I'll get out of it, but we'll see. It could be interesting. We got a Greatest Hits copy of Frogger. A Greatest Hits copy of WCW Nitro. I've actually never played any of the wrestling games on the PS1. I was, like I said many times before, a big N64 fanboy back in the day. So I played all those, which are some of the greatest of all time. So curious to see how these play for the PlayStation 1. It is a THQ game, and they did make the 4 greatest wrestling games of all time. Need for Speed's High Stakes. Found a loose disc copy of Rayman. I remember playing this one back in the day. You know, they've had a bunch of them come out since then. I remember playing the original though on the PlayStation because my buddy who lived with me, we were roommates. He had the PlayStation and I had the N64, and that was one of the games that he really rocked a lot. Tony Hawk Pro Skater Greatest Hits, number 1. Tony Hawk Pro Skater number 3 Greatest Hits. I got a demo disc for the PlayStation 1. It says it's got Toomba 2, Gran Turismo, and Omega Boost on it. Pretty neat. I kind of like picking up these. These are just like oddball things that you just don't see a lot of, but pretty cool to get when you see them. I got a couple of other demo discs that were in really nice cases and clean. I got Jam Pack Winter 2000 and Jam Pack Summer 2000. I got a Greatest Hits copy of The Dukes of Hazzard. This one is Racing for Home. I think they made a couple of Dukes of Hazzard games for the PlayStation. I don't think they make Dukes of Hazzard games anymore. Gran Turismo 2, another complete copy of this. I think I had a loose disc copy of this, which this is a nice upgrade for it. Never played 2. Got into it at 3 with the PlayStation 2 generation. Really like that one and like some of the ones after that. Okay, so that was the oldie. Let's go to the next generation here. PlayStation 2, a lot of PlayStation 2 games I found at the thrift shops as well. A couple of them that are not complete, they don't have the manuals. I got Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. I'm not sure about this one. I didn't even pop this one in to check this one out. It's in a Blockbuster case. Didn't have a manual. Looks a little different than the normal first-person shooter Battlefield games that you see now, so it'd be interesting to check that one out and see what's inside of it. Got Goblin Commander. This one as well is missing the manual. This is a real-time strategy game as well, where you control your little goblin armies and stuff like that. I got a copy of Kill Switch. I picked this one up just because it was $1, no manual in it. I actually got this game for the Xbox in my family vacation box a month or 2 ago, which was pretty neat. So I didn't really need it, but the only reason I picked it up was because it was one of those ones that was the color of the day and it was on clearance. So for $1, figured I won't leave it behind. I can trade it off to somebody else or give it to somebody. I got another copy of the original Ratchet & Clank for the PlayStation. This is the 3rd copy of this game that I've found out thrifting around. They're always in good shape, the cases and stuff are, and the discs are, but I have not found one yet with a manual. At some point I want to complete the copy by finding a manual, but if anybody's interested in a copy of Ratchet & Clank, I think I sent one of these along to one of our other buddies here on YouTube. If anybody else is interested in one, I have another copy again. The next one is Commando Strike Force. I think this one, we'll say from here on out, the rest of them are all complete in box. I won't open them up. This is actually a first-person shooter. It's on the same kind of vein as the Call of Duty and the Medal of Honor games that came out for the PlayStation 2 generation. I played a little bit of it. It seems interesting enough. I'll definitely probably give it a go at some point. I got a copy of NBA Ballers. I did not play this game. I'm not sure what it's even about, other than that it's a basketball game, obviously, but complete. We'll see. I don't know if I'll get much play out of that one. Same as this one, I don't know if we'll get a lot of play out of that one either, but it was a nice complete copy of Theme Park Roller Coaster. I heard some good things about this franchise, so I wanted to check it out. Everybody said it's like a first-person shooter, but with paintball. This is Greg Hastings' Paintball Max D. Once again, that one is complete. Like I said, I won't open any more of them up because they're all complete. A copy of Hot Shots Golf 3. To change it up a little, I got a copy of Outlaw Golf 2. We got a licensed game here. This was another one that a few of these, not all of them, most of the games from the thrift shops, because I go to Goodwills and there's 2 or 3 other little independent thrift shops in my area that I go to as well that I get games from. But most of these games will run in the $2 to $3 range. Occasionally you get them where they have like the color sticker where they're half off, so you get them for $1. That's why I picked this one up. I don't know much about it. I know I've seen the movie at some point in the past. It wasn't a great movie. I doubt it's a great game, but Aragon. I got a copy of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. So which one should I play, you guys? Should I play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 on the PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation 2? Let me know. I got a copy of original Black Label copy of God of War. A nice complete copy. This one was really in really good shape. That's why I picked it up. I have this already. I have it on the collection on the PS3, but I figured it would be pretty cool to pick up the original Another game that I have already as well, but I have on the original Xbox, is Max Payne. This one was in a lot better shape here for the PlayStation 2 than the copy that I had for the original Xbox. So once again, $2, picked it up. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Now, a couple of months ago on one of my pickups, I had said, hey, I got a double of this if anybody wants it. One of you guys reached out to me, made a cool trade with them. They were both for the Xbox. It was funny because I put one copy of it into the dad box when I sent it away, and then I traded the second copy of it away to our buddy Sega Blocks in a trade. So it was cool to pick it up again because after I had said that, I had no copies of it. So I got it on a nice clean copy of it here on the PS2. Glad to add that back. Got a couple of wrestling games here. I got SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 and 2007. I always try to pick these up if you see them and they're in really good shape, like they are, complete with manuals and everything. And I didn't have them, so I definitely wanted to add them to the collection. Got a nice clean copy of Spider-Man 3. I believe I have this game already. I have to check. I may have it on one of the other systems. I think I have it on GameCube, actually. One of the few GameCube games that I have. A copy of Super Bust the Move 2. This is a puzzler game. Never really played the first one. Haven't played the second one, but it was a nice clean copy, and it's one of them that I don't see a whole lot when I'm out around hunting. Moving on to the original Xbox, I only have 4 games that I picked up for that. But I'm a sucker for pinball, so I had to pick up the Gottlieb collection, the Pinball Hall of Fame, for the original Xbox. Nice, clean copy. That's all I've had it out because I had the packing still in it. I got a double copy of Jet Set Radio Future and Sega GT 2002. Very cool. Jet Set Radio Future is an awesome game if you've never played it before. It's kind of like that cell shaded. It's got the music playing. It's kind of almost like a time capsule. You know, you skate around on your inlines and you do graffiti and stuff like that. It's just sort of like a time capsule for the time that this came out. Pretty cool. Check it out if you have it. Got a copy of the original Splinter Cell. Never played this. I know it's a big franchise and it's spawned a lot of other games after the fact, but at some point I'll have to check it out. Let me know. Am I missing out? Is this something that I should be putting up on my priority list for the backlog, or should it just stay in the no man's zone? I got a copy too of Star Wars Battlefront, the first one, for the original Xbox. I already had the part 2 for it on the original Xbox. Very cool to add that in. Alright, let's get another drink, move on to the next thing. Move on to the next generation. Alright, so for the Wii, we picked up a piece of shit boxing game, but it was only $2, that's why I picked it up. I was hoping it was going to be a little bit more like the Wii Sports Boxing, you know, that one's kind of fun, you know, in a cartoony kind of way, but it's Showtime Championship Boxing. Not good. Got a loose disc copy of Tomb Raider Underworld. Like I said, $1. So picked it up because I wanted to check it out. I always liked the original Tomb Raider franchise back in the late 90s on the PC. I played the crap out of them. So it looked pretty neat and looked kind of similar to that same vein. Another copy without the manual of Cars 2, Mater's Tale. I'm not sure what this one is about. I have a few Cars games in the collection. The kids used to really like them. Now my kids are growing up, so it's not as big of a deal. But this is a 4-player game. Just says experience the outrageous moments from Disney Pixar's Mater's Tall Tale. So I'm not sure what to expect from that, but we may play a little bit of it. Got a nice complete copy of Excite Truck. Wasn't exactly what I was expecting it to be. Being a Nintendo fanboy and loving the crap out of the game Excite Bike, but cool to add it into the collection. I have a copy of Just Dance 2015 and 2 copies from the same day of Just Dance 4. Now you're like, why do you have 2 copies of Just Dance 4? First off, my kids really still pop the Wii on almost exclusively to play the Just Dance games. So it's interesting that they still like it, at least for that reason. But we didn't have Just Dance 4, we had a bunch of the other Just Dance games. We didn't have Just Dance 2015 either. But the same day that I was out thrifting, I found a copy of it. I'm like, cool, the kids will like that. That'd be a new game for them to dance to. Then I went to another thrift shop and I found another copy. Why did I pick it up? because they're still trading in to GameStop for like $11, I think, the last time I checked. So one of those is going to GameStop for a trade, and the other is for the kids. I got a copy of Sonic and the Secret Rings. I had this game a while, like back when it launched, way back, I don't know, mid-2000s when the Wii was going strong. Didn't care for it that much, got rid of it like I have some of the other games that I wish I still had back. Saw it for a couple dollars, said I'll add it back into the collection. It wasn't a terrible game, but definitely not the best Sonic game. Either way, you can't go wrong when you only pay a couple dollars for it. Something. I got 2 first-party, really cool Nintendo games. Really excited to add these because I did not have either one of these games in my Wii collection. So to pick these up at the thrift, they're both complete in the box. I actually just picked this Donkey Kong Country one up this morning when I went out to the thrift. And I picked this one up a few weeks back. It's the cool thing about the thrifts is when you go, you could go one day and be nothing. You could go the next day, be nothing. You can go the next day and you could find a ton of great games. You just never know what you're gonna find when you go to the thrifts. Really excited to add those 2 to the collection. On the same vein as the Sonic, this was a game that I had a while back when it was original. I had it on the PS3, Mirror's Edge. I found it a really nice clean copy the other day for $2 in the thrift. I decided to pick it back up again. When it was out and I had it on the PS3 originally, it wasn't really my cup of tea, didn't really care for the game. It's got this kind of like parkour world that you travel along, you're like a messenger. I don't know, maybe I'll give it a go again, see if I like it. If not, $2, you can't go wrong. Another one for $2 that I already have. Not complete, just the disc. Swapped the case out because it was a nice clean case. It's busted up. But this one, for $2, traded into GameStop, it's like $13. So it's a no-brainer. You make a little bit of money off of it on your trade. Full Auto for the Xbox 360. Nice complete copy of that. This one is like it's a racing game, but basically you have guns to you, so you could blow up your enemies, you can shoot them. It also has this element where it has this where if you like wreck or something, you mess something up, you could like rewind time a few seconds to go back to try to miss the mess up. So it's a different, interesting concept for it. I think I have the second one on Full Auto 2 on the PS3 because I think they made the first one only for the Xbox as an exclusive, and then they made the second one for the PS3. Fable 2. Now, I picked this one up, interestingly, it was a 99-cent game. It had just the bonus disc, and it had the case, the manual, and the cover art was jammed up inside of it. It wasn't even on the outside of the case. This looked like a blank case. I actually had the first disc, the main disc for it already as a loose disc, so for $1, was able to complete my copy of it. Very cool. Another game that I wanted, this was a 99-cent game. It's super clean. Usually when I find them at this one particular Goodwill and they're 99 cents, the discs will be like demolished. This one, I know you probably can't tell, but this one is actually really a really clean copy, and it's Rockstar Games Presents Table Tennis. Now I've never played it, but everybody knows who Rockstar is. They're famous for Red Dead Redemption and the Grand Theft Auto series. I just thought it was one of them that I actually had been kind of looking for at the thrifts when I would go out, so I was glad to pick it up, especially for $1. A lot of these too that I'm just talking about, they were all at one time. That's one of the interesting things too when you go out to the thrift shops that you'll find out. You'll see bulk of like one console. So you'll see a bunch of Xbox 360 games at one time, or you'll see a bunch of original Xbox games at one time, or Wii games, or however it works out. Next one, we have a copy of Forza Motorsports 4. Nice complete, both discs in there. I don't play a lot of the racing games. I know the Forza games are pretty cool games. We'll see if I get a lot of play out of it or not, I'm not sure, but pretty cool to add it to the collection. The next one we have Samurai Warriors 2 Empires. Pretty nice copy of that as well. This is like a Dynasty Warriors kind of game where you have, you know, the massive armies that you're fighting off and just constantly killing and going on. Not really, I mean, it's okay. Pretty cool to add it though, whatever, right? Naruto. This one has a gigantic title on it. One of the largest titles you will ever see in a video game. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations. A nice complete game. It even actually has the 2 little playing cards, I guess, that came with it when you get it. So that was kind of interesting. I would have never known it even had them in there or not. This is a fighting game. I am not really super familiar with the Naruto games. I know a lot of people love these. They love this style of anime and they love this style of fighting. And there is a ton of these different games out there. Pretty cool to add. The last game for the Xbox 360 that I picked up was probably the one that I'm most intrigued about to try out, and that is Lost Odyssey. This is a, whoa, caught it. It's a complete copy. It has like 4 discs in here, like stacked up. That's why that top one doesn't come out. But all the discs are in really great shape. Overall, the whole thing's in really good shape. And to find that for $2, I think it's like about a $20 game. That was kind of a steal. And when I saw it, I'm like, well, it just looks different. So when you see games that look different out at the thrifts, because a lot of times you see the same old. You see a lot of the same PlayStation 2 games, the same 360 game. But when you see something different, definitely grab it up, check it out, see if it's something that you'll be interested in. And it's in really great shape too, so I'm glad to add this. This is a JRPG, and I'm excited to actually give this one a go at some point. So that is it for the Xbox 360 and Wii stuff. Now we have the PlayStation 3. We have just a couple of games that we picked up from the thrifts for the PlayStation 3. Probably our 3rd copy for different consoles of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's nice and complete. We picked up a copy of Where the Wild Things Are. That's a complete copy as well. This is, you know, if you're familiar at all with the books, it follows on, well, I don't know if it follows on, but it's similar in art style and everything to the way the books are. And you play as a little boy, Max, and it's a open world kind of, I don't even know if you call it open world. Let me rephrase that. It is like a 3D kind of platformer, but you have to help the monsters from their island from being destroyed. So pretty neat little art style to the game too. I got a copy of UFC Undisputed 2010. So it's just a regular fighting game and a nice complete copy of that as well. And then I got a copy of Bound by Flame. This is a like action RPG as well. I actually picked this one up a few months, maybe a year ago or so on the Xbox 360. I hadn't got time to play it, but I like collecting for the PS3. I always just have. So that's kind of why I wanted to pick that copy up. I'll probably unload the other copy for the 360. A couple games I got for the Xbox One. Like I said, my daughter is the one who has the Xbox One in her room. I don't really have access to it, but I got Need for Speed Payback, and I got Just Dance 2018 and 2019, so that she can dance to those if she'd like to. For the PlayStation 5, I got like five games here from the thrift shops. I don't see a lot of PlayStation 5 yet in the thrift. Here and there you see them. This one was jammed in one of the other cases. I got Battlefront 2. I'm not sure what Battlefront 2, how much fun it is. I'm not sure. The first Battlefront game I didn't really care for that much. So we'll see. But like I said, it was jammed in one of the other cases. This one was jammed in one of them as well. I got Street Fighter 5 for the PlayStation 4. Those are the 2 loose copies. I got a copy of Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I may trade this one into GameStop as well. I think this one is exclusively online only. This one doesn't have a campaign. This was one of the first games that they did that with. I like the campaigns myself, so I'm not a huge online guy, antisocial that I am, but we'll see. I don't have it, so I may keep it, or I may trade it in, because it's still trading in for like $11 or $12 at the GameStop. I got a copy of the Harry Potter collection. It has both games on it, 1 through 4, 5 through 7, for the PlayStation 4. I'm pretty sure I probably have that already for like the Wii, or maybe even the PS3. And then the one that I really wanted that I paid, this one was not a $2 game. This was actually $8. Some of the Goodwills priced their stuff up and down. Like they had a nice copy of Shadow of Colossus for the PS2, but they wanted like $10 for it, and I wasn't going to pay that much for it. I figured I'd come across it again or at some point in time. But I got Shovel Knight, like I said, $8. A little bit more than normal, but it was a nice complete copy, and I've heard so many people talk well of this game that I wanted to add it to the collection because I do want to play it at some point in time. Very cool. So that was all of, that was not all of the thrift shop pickups. I have a couple of other things that are not video game from the thrift shops before we move on to the next thing. I got this for $1. I thought it was just cool. It's actually in the box. It's got the original packaging. It's even got the original cellophane in there for it. It had a little corrosion in the battery compartment. I cleaned it up really well and it works great. I just thought it was really cool. It's vintage, you know, it's got that old school box look to it. Pocket Simon. I picked up a copy of Fallout 76, the player's guide here. I know most folks don't even bother looking at the player's guides anymore. Actually, I haven't played that game, and I'm a Fallout fanboy. I enjoy Fallout. I enjoyed Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4. I've enjoyed all of those games. That one I haven't played. I know it was kind of a shit show when it launched, so I was kind of weary about it. And I know it's an all-online game, so we'll see. I may jump into it, but it's cool to pick the strategy guide up. This was a game, and this is a new game. It just looked cool. I just like the box art on it. I don't know if I'll ever actually play the game or not. It's a board game based on the Centipede game, but it's got that old Atari 2600 box art on it, and it just looked awesome. So that's why I had to pick that up. Still sealed in the plastic and all. All right, so the next thing we have is we'll do junk shop, pawn shop, and then we'll finish with the retail pickups because I know I'm running up already. So from the junk shop, this was just yesterday that I went up there. I went up there like twice this month. Didn't have anything I really wanted the first time. Second time I dug through some stuff, found a few things that I wanted. Kind of getting slim up there for me, but I got a really nice, clean copy of this game. It is called Brave, The Search for Spirit Dancer for the PlayStation 2. Manual, everything, original case. Like I said, really clean. It's a 3D platformer, and it's based on some like Native American folklore and stuff like that, I think. It looks pretty neat. Maybe I'll get a chance to play it, but I couldn't leave it behind in the junk shop. I got a copy of Project Gotham Racing 2 for the Xbox, the original Xbox. Nice copy there. I got 2 Game Boy Color games from up there. Neither one of them, like I said, are great, but I got Casper for the Game Boy Color. This one's kind of based off of the movie when it came out, way back in the 90s, I think it was, or early 90s. Or it would have to be, because that's when the Game Boy Color was out. But it plays decently. It's not really a great game or anything, but you know, you have the 3 enemy ghosts that from the movie that were like the bad ghosts and all that, and there's Casper the friendly ghost, so pretty cool to add that one in. And then I got a copy of Harry Potter, The Chamber of Secrets on the Game Boy Color. What can you say? It's Harry Potter and it's Game Boy. Then I got 2 PlayStation 4 games from her. I got God of War. Everybody has talked so great about this game that I had to pick it up. But for I figured $5 was well worth it. I've been kind of waiting to pick it up because I know I could have just went out and picked it up retail for, you know, $20 or whatever. But very cool to grab that for $5. Can't wait to jump into that one. And then this one was kind of neat too. It's a PAL game that I found up there. It was actually sealed in plastic. I opened it up, but it was sealed, but it had a sticker, so it was a reseal. It said something about it being a pre-owned game. But this is Super Dungeon Brothers. This is kind of like it's a 4-player like isometric look. It's a dungeon crawler basically, but it just sounded really cool because the back of it says it's a rock-themed co-op dungeon brawler where a band of mighty rock brothers must navigate the fantasy realm of Rockheim and its hellish dungeons to seek epic loot, fight hordes of evil undead, and uncover the legends of long-lost fabled rock stars. Sounds pretty neat. Maybe I can grab somebody to play some co-op with me and we'll catch some footage of it. If you guys are interested in seeing a little bit more about the game, let me know in the comments. So that was it for the junk shop, just those 6 things. From the pawn shop, it was kind of pretty slim too as well. I picked this little stack of games up from him for $12, and then I also bought something else from him, but I'll go with the games first. So for $12 I got Guitar Hero World Tour, nice copy of that for the PS3. I got Siphon Filter, a nice copy of that as well for the PlayStation 1. Polaris Snowcross for the PlayStation 1, and the Smurfs for the PlayStation 1. Not sure what to expect from any of these. The Smurfs always looks pretty cool because, you know, being an 80s kid, you gotta love the Smurfs. And then I got a copy also of Glover for the N64, which I already have a copy of it, but I couldn't leave it behind for that price. Like I said, that was pretty cheap for those couple of games. So the other thing I got from him, which wasn't cheap, it wasn't part of the thing, it was a different trip that I made up there, was I paid him $65 for this. It is a Yeti Blackout microphone. sealed in the box. Had never been opened. It says it came with, I did open it up. It came with a voucher here that I have to use for $50 worth of games on Ubisoft. So I'm definitely going to use that. But so I couldn't figure for that price, and then I take the $50 off. And at some point when I get a better PC, I'm going to actually be using this, so I'll have some better sound. At this point, I'm just using either no microphone or this little tiny one that I had bought off of eBay. So pretty cool to add that into the collection for what we're doing here. The last thing I have is all my retail pickups. Now my retail pickups range from eBay, Mercari, and if I went out to any stores and bought anything. So I'll go with old school stuff first that I have here. Get all over here closer. I picked up off of Mercari a copy of Stunt Race FX. This is only like a $10 game or something. It was a really super clean copy. I think I paid $8 for it. I loved this game back when the Super Nintendo was current. It was like I didn't have a monster Super Nintendo game, but for some reason at that point I really liked playing this game. Hasn't held up as well as it did back in the day, but definitely excited to add that one to the collection. That's the only Super Nintendo game that I picked up retail. I picked up 9 NES games for the collection. 2 of them are unlicensed games, and then I got, actually 3 of them are unlicensed games, and then I got a few of the others. Unlicensed, I got RBI Baseball 3, a Tengen copy. I got MiG-29, which is Top Gun if you're playing as a Russian fighter instead of a US warplane. Pretty cool game though, I really like it. I actually think I like it better than Top Gun. And then I got a copy of Firehawk, unlicensed as well. This one's pretty neat. It's kind of like a top-down helicopter. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like the Strike series, sort of. Doesn't have an isometric view. It's more top-down. And there were some cutscenes where you go to pick up your little guys on the ground, where your helicopter will be hovering sideways, and you have to shoot the other helicopters and stuff that are coming in, while you have a rope that's hanging down for them to climb up. Pretty neat little game. For the licensed games, I got a nice copy of Dr. Chaos from one of my local game shops. I think all of these came from two different local game shops here. Dr. Chaos is kind of similar in the similar vein to the Goonies or even Friday the 13th, in a sense that it's side-scrolling, and it's a side-scrolling platformer, action platformer, whatever you want to call it. But then you have also spots where you go into doors and you go in rooms and you can explore the rooms. Track and Field, the original. Don't really need to explain what that is. A bunch of track and field games. Didn't even notice that when I bought it, the had a little nick in the label. So I'll probably be looking for an upgrade at some point. But for a couple dollars, I was glad to add that one. Another NES game. Tecmo Baseball. Very, very cheap game. I think I paid $5 for it, but I probably overpaid from the game shop for it. But it's actually a pretty fun game. It's not one of the best NES baseball games, but it's definitely better than some of the others. King's Knight. Didn't care for this one too much. Really weird, kind of top down. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's like like you're shooting at these guys, and you got these structures, and you can break these structures down, and there's other enemies that come out of them. Probably a terrible explanation as to what the game is like, but truthfully, wasn't a good game. Very cool label art though. Alpha Mission. This one's kind of fun. It's probably not the best top-down shoot 'em up, but it's interesting. It's definitely worth a play if you come across it on the cheap. And then the last NES game that I got was Dino Ricky, at the recommendation of my friend Generation Pixel in his Nintendo Adventure series. And motherfucker, this game is not hard. He's not lying. Okay, so let's go with the OG Xbox first. So we got 2 games for the OG Xbox. I got Mojo, which is a puzzler game where you're like this little like marble and you gotta bust these blocks up. Not a very good game, but I only paid $1 for it. One of the game shops, I was not right here close to my local area, but maybe 45 minutes or so away. My wife and I were doing some thrifting. We stopped in this game shop there, and they had a sale going on, which we bought some games that weren't on sale, but I bought a few games that were on sale, where anything that was under $5.99 was on sale for $1. So I was like, I grabbed a couple of games up just because this is one of them. Very clean copy of it. Nothing to write home about though. The coolest game that I bought, and this wasn't from the same shop, this is from my other local game shop that's closest to me. This is a game that I'm going to try to get out there. It's Cold Fear. This is a third-person survival horror game for the Xbox. I've heard a couple people talk very well about it. I think I'm going to do a review on this. I got a couple games lined up that I want to try to get reviews out for you guys for the month of October, for the Halloween month. So this is definitely one of them that I'm looking forward to playing and reviewing for you guys. Moving on to the last thing that I have, it's all PlayStation 3 games. Some of these were bought, like I said, retail. Here we'll go with the first thing I got was Mercari pickup. I had a package deal that I got off from Mercari. I think I paid $20 for these games. I got a copy of Front Mission Evolve loose. I got a loose copy of Singularity. Don't know much about those two games. Got a copy of Bulletstorm. I actually had this already for the Xbox 360, but pretty cool to add that to the PlayStation collection. Kind of like one of those Gonzo shooter games. You know, you get different points for headshots or for shooting somebody in the balls or different stuff like that. Pretty cool to add that one into the collection. I got Doom 3, the BFG edition. Glad to add that in. And then I got a copy of a game that I really have been wanting to pick up, was the Eco and the Shadow of Colossus collection. So for $20, I don't think I did too bad picking up those 5 games there. I also picked up a copy off of Mercari for, I think it was like $8. Jericho. It had a generic case, but it did have the cover art, the manual, and the disc. This is a first-person shooter, kind of a survival horror type of game. I may add this one in. Maybe I'm thinking maybe doing 3 or 4 different games for October to do some reviews for, and just, you know, for the theme of the horror. So maybe that may be another one that we do. It didn't seem, the little bit that I played of it didn't seem like that was like terrifying horror. It seemed more along the lines of like a Doom type of thing where you were like just shooting the enemies up and just killing them. This one looked like a really cool game. Some other folks had recommended it. It has a very cool art style, very cheap to buy. This is a sealed one. I haven't opened it up yet. Valkyria Chronicles. Looked pretty cool, so I wanted to add that in. Like I said, I love the PlayStation 3. It's one of my favorite systems to collect for. I know it's gotten kind of ridiculously expensive lately, but I'll keep chipping away at it. Here's another one that is sealed that I haven't played yet, but I was checking it out and it looked interesting. It was weird. It was one I'd never heard of. Akiba Strip. Basically, you are fighting the undead in this game, and you walk around town stripping people down. So it's definitely a mature themed game. It says Tokyo's electric town is being invaded by the undead. Enter the Akiba Freedom Fighters, an organization dedicated to bringing peace to these neon streets, one garment at a time. If it's weird, buy it. So the rest of this, no wait a second, there's 3 more. So I picked up this game, Metro, Last Light, Sleeping Dogs, which is not complete, missing the manual, and The Eye of Judgment. And the reason that I picked these 3 games up, these were also from the game store, and they were all listed for the under $5.99. So $1 a piece. Definitely cool to add those into the collection as well. And finally, the last thing I have here was a set of games that I bought from Play Asia. I can't remember who recommended it, but I wanted to check this one out. It looked like a really cool RPG, Eterno Blade 2. Never played the first one, but it was pretty cheap on Play Asia, so I wanted to pick it up. Don't know a whole lot about it, truthfully. Castlevania, Lords of Shadows 2. Now I have the first one of these, I did not have the second one. Once again, it was another good price that was on Play Asia, so that's why I wanted to pick that one up. Then I got The Bureau XCOM Declassified. This one is a complete copy as well, actually brand new copy, even though it's the exterior of it is a little bit rough. That's kind of one of the cool things about Play Asia, is that the games that you're getting from them, unless they advertise them as pre-owned, they're all brand new games. This is it's like a third-person shooter. It's a lot different than the other XCOM games. I recommend you check it out. I want to actually dig into this one and play it a little bit more than what I have already. Definitely looking forward to that. And finally, I got 3 copies of the same game. Now you're wondering, what the hell are you doing with 3 copies of the same game? So I got Drakengard 3. Now, a couple months back, this game was used in one of my local game shops, and when the prices all spiked up for the PS3 games, they had this one listed as a used game, and the guy was like, hey, check this one out. I got this one up here, because he saw me really looking at through the PlayStation 3 games. It was like $75. So I found these all on PlayAsia, super cheap. They were like $18.99. I don't know why, but they're all brand new, sealed games. Why did I buy 3 copies of them? One of the copies is for me. One of the copies is for a friend of mine. And the other copy I'm going to do as a giveaway if I ever reach the 200 subscribers. So when we get to that point, this will be one of the prize options for whoever gets picked to win the 200 subscriber giveaway. That's why I have 3 of them. All in all, as you can see, quite a bit of games that I picked up here this month in August. Very tasty beer. Check them out, Brewery Fire, a drink to the past. And I will catch you guys next time. Cheers.